It is Thursday night, the last Thursday of the month. So that means that you are tuning into The Scene here on 88.1 The Park, Plymouth and Canton's Hit Music. My name is Nick Brandon, and welcome to The Scene, where we will play the best of the best in local music, but really specifically local music that comes from these three high schools here on this very campus: Salem High School, Plymouth High School, and Canton High School, also known as Plymouth Canton Educational Park. We really like to focus here on The Scene on those artists, but we extend outside of those boundaries to bring you other great local music as well. As always, this show is brought to you by the In the Band Music Appreciation Studio, where we have a very busy weekend coming up, don't we, Maddie the intern?
Yes, we definitely do.
Why are we doing back-to-back shows? Who decided to do this?
I don't know, but I think it's insane, but I'm living for it right now.
The insane person that decided this is sitting about 3 feet to the left of you. And this week I was like, how are we going to pull off two shows back to back? But we're going to.
Yes.
And it's because of the artists that are part of it. Everyone's jumping in and contributing, and people have already pledged to come and help. Mm-hmm. So I think it's going to be a good time.
Yeah. I know this show on Friday, tomorrow at 6:30, is it?
6:30 doors, yeah.
Yeah. I know I have a ton of friends already signing up. If they're asking me if I'm going to go, I'm like, of course I'm going to be there. But I'm super pumped for it.
Yeah, I think tomorrow night's going to be a big night. I get that feeling.
Yeah.
In tonight's guest, Rough Draft, who we're so excited to be here, are sort of leading the show.
Yeah.
Or at least I know Tess from Rough Draft is.
Mm-hmm.
And it sounds like it's going to be a great benefit concert. What more can you tell us about what you know about this particular show?
I don't know much about it because I'm not really involved other from the in the band aspect. But I know that the proceeds will go to the Trevor Project, I think. Yeah. And it's basically, it's for the GSA.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I don't know what it's going to, but
yeah. It's going to be a great cause. It's going to be a really good night in the band. I know that Tess and Corinne from Rough Draft, who will be joining us tonight, will be able to tell us much more about it. But that will be tomorrow night. Doors will be at 6:30, like you said. Suggested donation of $10 at the door. And like you said, that's all going to the Trevor Project. And then Saturday night will be the Read the Sun EP release party.
Yeah.
So that's going to be exciting.
Mm-hmm.
And we've got four bands that night. I know Read the Sun and Michigan left, two of In the Band's favorites, and then a couple others. So you can go back-to-back nights. Maddie the intern, do you think we'll have people come to both?
I think we definitely will. I'm expecting a good turnout for both.
Some of our ITB regulars, which we have.
Mm-hmm.
So it'll be fun. Sunday morning we'll be exhausted.
Yes.
But it'll be well worth it because In the Band is here to bring everybody great nights of local music over at 650 Church Street in Plymouth. So it'll be an action-packed weekend. We had a really good time at the turkey show, the first annual turkey show.
It was amazing.
Right? The night before Thanksgiving.
Mm-hmm.
Turned out to be a perfect night for a show, wasn't it?
I honestly wasn't expecting a great turnout because everyone's going to be with family and everyone's going to be busy celebrating. But we actually had a pretty great turnout and it was a ton of fun for me.
It was great. Yeah. It was nice to see families come out.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times around holiday shows, it's kind of hit or miss, to your point.
Yeah.
Sometimes you get really great turnout, sometimes you don't. But on that night, the Wednesday before Thanksgiving, we had a tremendous amount of families come. We had Paper Crowns, we had Zoe Sturrett, we had Theo, we had another artist, I can't remember who it was, but it was terrific, whoever it was. And it was a really good time. It was good to see Paper Crowns again. And that was fun. And we'll hear from Paper Crowns tonight. We're going to hear some music from Me and the Dog. In fact, we're going to play off the actual vinyl.
Oh, that's awesome.
Vinyl, which is pretty cool.
Awesome.
Bill Keith has arranged that. We have some music from Sid West, and then, of course, our in-studio guest, Rough Draft. So it's going to be a fun show. We're glad that everybody has tuned in with us tonight. Talk a lot about what's going on in the band tomorrow night and Saturday night, but let's make no mistake, we're here for the music, and let's get to it. So we're going to start with the band that we will be celebrating on Saturday night, December 1st, celebrating the release of their EP. So we're going to start off the show tonight with Havenwick. Here is Read the Sun on 88.1 The Park, Plymouth, Canton's Hit Music.
Hospital gown.
This is Scott Burrick, principal of East Middle School, and you are listening to The Scene on 88.1 The Park, Plymouth and Canton's hit music. Hear Me from Sid West here on The Scene on 88.1 The Park. Love Sid. It's good to hear from him, and I hope things are going well at school, I think at Western Michigan. but hopefully we see Sid again soon. Before that, we had Havenwick from Read the Sun. Once again, Saturday nights, we will have Read the Sun and Friends there to celebrate their EP. But tomorrow night, our in-studio guest tonight will join. I first heard of Rough Draft, seeing their name on a flyer for one of the Arts Academy events that we had right outside the high school here. And when you hear Rough Draft, I'm fascinated by band names. I always think about Rough Draft, like work in progress or kind of figuring it out as you go along. And that was sort of like the image that I had. And then as I approached the stage to see Tess and Corinne, who are here tonight, I remember seeing a cello and I was like, oh, this is cool. This is different. And hear a sound that was very unique that day. I remember that vividly. Do you guys remember that show?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that was like one of our first shows. It was very scary.
Yeah.
So we are joined by Tess and Corinne. So Tess Starr, a junior at Salem, and Corinne Marsh, a junior at Salem. I'm assuming it's more than just being juniors at Salem that brought you guys together, but it is amazing that you're both in the same grade, same school.
Yeah.
Which at the park here is not terribly common.
Yeah, for sure.
So how did you guys find each other musically? How did this kind of musical partnership form?
Well, we had we're in the Arts Academy, and in the Arts Academy freshman year, we met each other, and I thought she was really cool. I wanted to be her friend really badly, and I was like, man, I'm gonna be that girl's friend. And I decided that. And one night she invited me to the GSA benefit concert, and because she was like, you should come check it out.
Freshman
I'm playing.
year.
Yeah, freshman year. It was when we first met. And I go there and I see her and I was like, oh my God, you are so good. And then she was like, you know what? We should totally start a band because you like to sing and I play instruments. And I was like, haha, yeah. But I wasn't it was kind of like a joke.
Yeah, it was one of those things where we were like, yeah, we'll definitely do that. That's going to happen for sure.
And that was freshman year?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so then last year, your first show would have been your sophomore year. So in between, was it just lots of, hey, let's do this, but never really following through on it?
So we first started actually putting music together last October-ish. So it was pretty much a year in between being yeah, we'll start a band before we actually sat down and showed each other our music.
And so Tess, you were sort of the instrumentalist. So at this event you were talking about, you played in some other capacity.
Yeah. There was a girl who I was friends with who was a singer, but she didn't play any instruments, so I offered to play guitar for her.
Cool.
I remember you were so nervous.
Yeah. It was the first time I'd ever performed in front of anyone, so it was very scary.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That night your freshman year?
Yeah.
And presuming by your talent, it went very well.
It did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you still get nervous when you play?
I don't get nervous. I mean, I do, but not as nervous.
Yeah.
And I don't, it's different.
It's just like anything else. It'll become more like excitement than nerves.
Yeah. I definitely get way more excited now.
Yeah.
And when I'm on stage, I'm not nervous. It's just beforehand.
Yeah, and also because we when we play originals our first original we played, it was at a church benefit concert thing, which was not our normal was not where we imagined
They were not
we'd be
people
playing.
that we knew.
Yeah. And we were I remember we were very nervous because that was the first time we were ever going to play an original song for people, and it's opening yourself up to people and letting them judge you and hear what you have to say, and that was we get kind of that's kind of scary.
It's always scary the first time playing a new original.
Always. Yeah, for sure. And so in terms of writing originals, did that come pretty naturally when the two of you got together and decided to actually do this?
I had been writing originals for a while, and then Corinne started shortly before we started making music together, and then when we came together, it just kind of happened.
Yeah, I hadn't written as many as her, but as in knowing you, Tess, I've just I've started to write a lot more. When we started playing together, I started to just enjoy it more and be more into it.
Yeah.
But both being an arts academy too, I have to imagine that binds you together in a number of ways. I mean, just to have that artistic lens and kind of understand your development just as artists, not just musicians, must be a significant thing as well. Just being creative people.
For sure.
Yeah, and in some classes and stuff, I remember when we were writing first, but we hadn't performed that many places in class, we would have to write songs for things. Well, we wouldn't have to, but there would be an option to write a song, and we'd always be and we decided to do it together.
Yeah.
And that helped us too.
For our final in our English class together, we were in the same English class, and our teacher let us write a song together, which no one else got to do a group project, but because we were in a band together, she was like, if you write a song and you compose a musical part for it, then I'll let you do it together.
That's pretty cool. In your English class?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who was it? We got to shout out the teacher.
It
Who was
Miss Churchill.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
Cool.
she's great.
Excellent. And while we're shouting out teachers, we got to shout out Amy Williker.
Yeah, for sure.
The
Oh my
greatest.
God.
Just the greatest. Yeah.
Love her.
Absolutely.
She's so wonderful.
Absolutely. So she provides great leadership to so many musicians that use in the band or, in the band and Arts Academy have formed a good partnership.
Yeah.
So it's been cool to get to know her. She's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So for you guys, we're going to hear a song now. We're going to hear a number of performances tonight, but Capo 6 is going to be our first performance. As a musician, even though I'm a drummer, I know what a capo is. And I guessed that the title for that came from where the capo was on the guitar.
Mm-hmm.
Was that a fair guess?
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you name your band Rough Draft.
Yeah, for sure.
And the song's called Capo 6.
Yeah.
That one we just had trouble.
Yeah, we're really good with names.
I think the name Rough Draft though is cool. I think it's appropriate.
you.
Maybe you just came up with it because it was there at the beginning,
Yeah.
but
Yeah,
I love the story of how we came up with
so
the name.
the first time we sat down and we played music for each other. Every original we were like, this one's just a rough draft. It's fine. It's not a big deal because we were still so scared of each other. Because I think that we both respected each other as musicians so much that we were like, it's not that good. It's fine. And then at one point I was just like, that's our band. That's our name. And so it just stuck.
nice.
Yeah, like our music.
Yeah.
Rough draft.
I like it. I think it's absolutely perfect. I think it's cool. It's a good choice. Well, let me give you a second to get situated here. I know that Corinne mostly plays guitar, and Tess, you do a few different things, right? You played some cello.
I play guitar and electric cello.
Cool. So go ahead and get set up. So we're going to hear from Rough Draft. They're going to do Capo 6. And once again, Rough Draft will be one of the artists that will be performing tomorrow night at the benefit concert presented by the PSEP GSA in partnership with a bunch of different places, including In the Band. All proceeds tomorrow night will go to the Trevor Project, which hopefully we'll talk about later. You guys can give me some information on that. So this is tomorrow night. Doors are at 6:30 p.m. This is at 650 Church Street in Plymouth on the second floor. There'll be a variety of artists, but we're going to have Rough Draft, Florida Fruit, Wes Welch, a good friend of In the Band, will be doing his violin thing. He's incredible.
Yeah.
Marquette Winston and a few others. So I know we'll talk about the show more later tonight, but for now, let's hear some tunes. So This is Rough Draft, and this is Capo 6 here on the scene on 88.1 The Park. Are you guys ready?
I think so.
Yeah.
Then take it away. Let's do this.
You understand my words. You know what I will say. You ask me lots of questions, and I know you say it will be okay. Getting out of my head on the beach instead. Living in the moment, I'm truly happy here. Feel like I'm not alone. I feel like I found my home. I know it will be okay. And now I have found my way. My heart beats in my chest. Think I know what's best. I think I'm still learning how to deal with the thoughts in my head. I'll daydream a new life. Which I'll
Yes, exactly. That's right. So tell me about Shelf. What's this song all about?
Okay, so I wrote this song, and we wrote this song. This is our song, but it's called Shelf because people usually write music from personal experiences and things going on in their life, and there was a part of my life where it was just things with friendships and people I know not going so well, and there was this one person who I thought might not be in my life anymore after a while, and I wrote this song about them because they're just really important to me, and it's actually it's about one of my friends. It's not like a love song or anything. It's and I wrote it because they understand me, and they I say put everything back on the shelf, which is how they understand how the way to treat me and things I need, and when I'm upset just how to make things better and put everything back where it goes.
It's great. Yeah. It's fabulous. So and in the end, isn't that the best part of music, right? Is to express things that are going on. I mean, that's what's cool about hearing your songwriting process. Yes, music is there to write about what's going on in your life and express yourself in that way. So very cool that you put that to song. So without further ado, I don't know how you're going to match Capo 6, but I mean, you've set a high bar here.
Thank you.
But
Oh, it's great. They're all great.
they're all great. They're all great. So let's continue with Rough Draft here in studio. This is great, guys. You're doing a great job. And let's check in with Rough Draft. Here is Shelf on the scene on 88.1 The Park. Take it away.
Okay. The diamonds you call eyes used to shine so bright, and I would love to get lost in them before they turn to cold. You used teardrops to water your plants, every kind. I could fill up a jar with mine. Would you mind? You know me so well. You always put everything back on my shelf. Yes, you do. I know me in a while. Is everything fine? It's okay to be hurting, just don't lie. You know me too well. Without you, I'm worried about my shelf. Please don't let it fall. By now I should know how to be on my own. But without you, my walls made of glass, not of stone. I'm scared of breaking, 'cause you know me so well. You always put everything back on my shelf. Please don't let me fall.
Shelf from Rough Draft. Well done, guys.
Thank you.
Test you and we talked about Wes earlier, the incredible violin player. Do you guys ever get together and have like a string jam?
I'm deathly afraid of him because he is so good. So we do not. However, that is something that I would like to do.
Yeah, I think it'd be cool
Yeah.
just to hear string players kind of have a jam session. Come on, Wes, make that happen.
Yeah. Weston.
Yeah, I know he's out there listening.
He is.
It's very and for anyone who hasn't never seen him do his violin solo, he will be doing it tomorrow night, and it is like stunning.
The kid's amazing.
Yeah, it's incredible. So one of many reasons to come see Rough Draft and many others tomorrow night at In the Band, 6:30 p.m. doors. You guys played at our Halloween show.
We did.
In
Yeah,
fact,
we
you
did.
kicked it off. You were the first
We were.
act.
Oh,
You-
God.
The first note of music that night was played by Rough Draft.
It was.
Whoa.
It was a great show. Did you guys have a good time?
It was so good.
That was
It was
so fun.
It was great to play, but it was so good to be first because like we could just play and
Yeah.
get all the nerves out and then just party.
Yeah,
You know,
it was so fun.
When you requested the first spot, I thought maybe that was the case. I was
It-
like, they
yeah.
probably want to just get
It
done so they can have
totally
fun.
was.
Yeah.
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 But your turnout was really good. So next time you have to put you more in the middle or, in another spot.
I don't know. I really liked first.
Yeah. And that was so cool how we had was that like our longest set like on stage on it by ourselves?
Yeah.
That was like
I would guess about 30 minutes, 35 minutes.
We did a show over the summer at
oh no, yeah.
the Harris Conservatory of Music where I used to take guitar lessons, and that was about 45 minutes, so it was a little longer. But
Oh yeah, but that show we were like
More people.
we were intimidated because we were like, man, all these awesome local bands are playing and it's gonna be so cool, and we were just so excited to like get to play there. And I remember we were a little nervous, but after we like were on stage for a second, it was like really really like fun, and we were just like kind of comfortable, and it was like cool.
yeah.
You guys did a great job. It was a great set. And it was an amazing night. I mean, you
It
think
was so
about
good.
16 bands, and
Oh.
we'll do it again in the spring, and I'm quite sure we'll have you guys back. If you want.
I don't know. We'll have to think about it.
So let's shift to the influences segment. I know you chose the Avett brothers.
The Avett brothers.
Avett brothers, who I'm mildly familiar with. I have some friends who are into them.
Me
But
too.
it seemed like, the second I asked you what your influence of song was, it seemed like it was pretty decisive. Like this was it. So tell us about this choice.
I confirmed with Corinne that this would be cool. And I said that Nick needed an influence band, and she said, "Oh, the Abbey Brothers, clearly." And I was like, "Yeah, that's what I thought." So they've been my favorite band since 5th grade, and they are the reason why I play the cello. Joe Kwan is their cellist, and he is incredible. And when I was going into 6th grade, my mom was like, "You should play the cello," and I was like, "I don't know, that's kind of lame." And she was like, "No, but Joe Kwan," and she showed me a video of Joe Kwan. And if you haven't seen a video of Joe Kwan playing the cello, totally look up a video of Joe Kwan playing the cello, because he's crazy.
Really?
He doesn't sit, he stands, and he balances his C-peg on his neck and just jumps up and down. And he has the most hair that I have seen on a man's head ever. It's wild. And I was like, yep, I'm going to be him. So I started playing the cello, and then I just love them so much. I've seen them in concert, I think 13 times.
Oh, wow.
I have 30 Avett Brothers
I was going to
shirts.
say, how many?
Yeah, 30.
Yeah,
I
there
have
was,
30.
at the beginning of the year, she wore one every day.
I wore
a
an
different
Avett
one.
Brothers shirt every single school day until mid-October.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's impressive.
It was
I mean,
very impressive.
I love a lot of bands. 30 shirts. That's amazing.
Yeah. My sister last year for Christmas gave me all of her shirts. So they weren't originally all my shirts, but they are now. So
It still counts.
It doesn't even matter.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So you chose February 7.
I did.
And it sounds like a perfect choice. And really, so this is why you picked up a cello.
It is.
This band.
Yeah. And
Wow,
it's
that's
why
cool.
I decided to play the guitar too. So
Fantastic.
It's-
Cool.
the reason why we exist.
Well, it's a great choice. So let's listen to the reason why Rough Draft exists. So here is February 7 from the Avett Brothers here on the scene on 881 The Park. That's February 7, and that's the Influences segment for our in-studio guests tonight, Rough Draft, Tess and Corinne, and Toby, and what's the guitar?
Josh.
Yeah, the guitar. You got to name the guitar and cello. That's a cool choice. I can totally see the connection there between their music and your music, clearly.
Good, I'm glad.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
that's such a compliment.
It was a good choice. Very good choice.
Thank you.
Let's bring in Bill Keith, station director here at 881 The Park, for one of our favorite parts of the scene, which is the scene rewind. Bill, let's get into our time machine and travel way back in time before these guys were born, I'm guessing. I'm so old. Gosh.
Well, yeah, this band would be about. And
Like-
this album's probably 18 or 20
Like
years
the year.
old.
Oh, it's old. Yeah. The album's older than they are.
Yeah.
Oh,
We're babies though.
Yeah.
no, we're old.
That's true.
You're
No,
right,
yeah, you're
but
right.
we're really old too. So the transfer, who
Yeah.
actually has a friend of mine, Justin Carl, was in it, and some of the other guys that graduated in my class. So tell us about the transfer.
Yeah, we were playing them, probably late 90s, early 2000s. Our music director at the time, Emily Holscher, brought in a burned CD, a compilation that had them on it, and we played a couple songs, and then they put out their own album. And, I don't know the exact date that the album was released because they didn't put a date on it.
They should have. They should
I
have put a date
remember,
on it.
we had them play radio station fundraiser, and I remember just being knocked over because they're, totally change in sound compared to Rough Draft, but really, but I remember being just knocked over by how explosive they were and what a great live band they were. And yeah, you mentioned Justin Carroll. I know at least a couple of the others were students here. I know for sure Steve Tudor, and I'm not sure about the other guys. There might have been a few of the other guys, but Steve Tudor's the vocalist, and they were a great band.
They were a great live band. They were super high energy, I remember. You know, one of those bands that you had to engage with the show because they were so active on stage. That's cool. It's a great choice. I mean, they stylized their name with a dot in between the and transfer, right? I remember.
Not on this
Not on
album,
that
but
one?
they may have done that
They
at
did
one
that,
time.
and people used to call them the dot transfer.
Yes. Oh, on the side.
Yeah.
It's there.
It was very confusing for a long time. It was an early lesson for me why you should never stylize your name. Just make a simple, like Rough Draft. Just make a simple name that people can remember.
Yep.
And so we are going to hear Knowing Hate,
Yep.
which is one of the tracks. What is the album called, Bill?
The album is called break the lines.
Excellent. From some unknown year, but it was very likely before any of you guys were born.
Early 2000s.
Excellent. Cool. So let's get in that time machine and travel back in the scene rewind. Here is Knowing Hate from The Transfer on 881 The Park.
And it starts out and you're laughing and you're like, oh my God, ha. And then it gets like
the
sad.
first time we performed it, someone laughed, and I was like kind of shook because I was like, oh, that's funny.
Right.
Like that wasn't supposed to be a joke.
Cool. Well, A Year Ago will be the last song we hear from Rough Draft tonight. So without further ado, take it away. Here's Rough Draft with A Year Ago on the scene on 881 The Park.
I had a dream about your mom, and it was kind of weird, 'cause she didn't hate me. I said, if you ever fall out of love, just whisper in my ear, so I know you're running away. A year ago, you promised the world, and you still slipped away. I'll never understand the pain that we were in, and I'm still not sure how we got through. And I promise I'm okay, but sometimes in a way I still miss you. A year ago, you promised the world, and you still slipped away. And I thought it would be over this by now, and I've changed so much since you left, but you still smell the same. And I'm glad your hair hasn't changed. Do you ever still think about my eyes? Did you know you could fall out of love?
They're laughing. A year ago from Rough Draft, what was funny?
I don't know.
Other than the first line, which by the way was funny.
You
Yeah.
looked sad. And then
No,
I
I'm
was like,
good.
okay. It was just like, oh.
The first time in the history of the scene where the artist stopped playing their song and immediately started cracking up.
Yeah, we do that. That's kind of
Sometimes.
our thing. I
Yeah.
mean, it's kind of a joke.
Yeah. You
Yeah,
guys keep
kind
it
of.
simple, though.
Yeah,
You keep it light.
I mean,
That's the key.
okay, when you're exposing all of your feelings to like the world, it's literally my diary. Like I'm reading you my diary. So like you gotta laugh about it.
Yeah. But all great artists, that's how it is.
Right.
I mean, that their lyric sheet is essentially their diary. So that's
Yeah.
cool. That's how it should be.
Yeah.
So that was a year ago. So tomorrow night, 6:30 doors in the band, 650 Church Street in Plymouth. Come, donate at the door, support the Trevor Project, and see Rough Draft, Florida Fruit, Weston Welch, Marquette Winston, and a bunch of others.
Yeah.
It's going to be fun.
It's gonna be so good. I'm
gonna be
so
a lot of-
excited.
Heck yeah, it is.
And baked goods. Let's
Baked
not
goods.
forget the
My
baked goods.
mom's famous pumpkin chocolate chip muffins.
oh my God, dude.
Wow.
Dude, they're so good.
I'm probably going to have to get one of those.
They're
Just
so
saying. Yeah, make sure and save one.
Yeah, I will.
And then Saturday night, because we're crazy enough, Manatee and Turnate, what are we doing with this back-to-back shows?
no clue.
You know, I mean, my goodness. I do have a life, right? I mean, but not this weekend.
Honestly, I don't know.
Yeah, this weekend I won't. But Saturday night, Read the Sun, who's, of course, one of our favorite bands, will be celebrating their EP release. Music for Birds is the name of the EP. And it's an absolutely fantastic record. People need to check it out. They will be celebrating this Saturday night, 6 p.m. doors again in the band. And it will be Read the Sun and Michigan Left and a couple other artists, and we're super excited about that as well. You can't get much better than Michigan Left and Read the Sun in one night.
You honestly can't.
So people can do back-to-back nights In the Band.
Yeah.
You know?
Who would have thought?
Yeah.
I'll be there.
Yeah.
I think I'll be there. I'm gonna try my hardest.
I might just set up a sleeping bag on the stage and just sleep in there. I'm just saying. That might be kind of weird, but I might do it. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I'm going to be there the whole weekend anyway. So we're super excited. Thank you guys so much for joining tonight. This was so much fun.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I don't think it'll be the last time. It's great you're both juniors because that means we can do this again next year.
Aw.
Which means we'll still, but Rough Draft's got to stay together.
Oh.
You know?
Yeah.
I actually hate
Oh,
tests.
We'll see.
So it was wonderful. It was great to hear you guys play, and we look forward to tomorrow night. And Rough Draft will be a regular at In the Band in the coming weeks, months, and hopefully a couple of years, which would be great. So thank you guys. And we're going to take you out tonight with something special. So Bill Keith has the turntable fired up, right, Bill? Woo! I don't know when the last time vinyl was played here on 881 The Park, but pretty special tonight. We're going to actually take ITB3 and play Sidewalk Talk from Me and the Dog. So we want to thank everybody for listening tonight, checking in. Again, tomorrow night In the Band, come support Rough Draft and all the other artists. And we will see you again next month. It'll be our December show, Maddie the Intern.
Yes, I'm
It will be
super
almost the
excited.
end of 2018.
So sad.
Direct from vinyl, here is Sidewalk Chalk from Me and the Dog. Thanks for checking in and dropping into the scene tonight here on 881 The Park, Plymouth the Cans Hit Music.
This is why I will never find happiness, 'cause deep inside I know I'll always be just as I prophesied. You up and left a man of my life, and I don't know why, but that meant nothing to you. This is what it's like for me, 'cause I don't ever wanna know what it's like to feel alone. This is why I will never find happiness, 'cause deep inside I know I'll always be alone. It's my